do to help us get off this losing streak. I ain't about losing. Y'all know me. You've known me for a long time in this league. I ain't about losing, so ain't about talking about it. It's about making it happen. That's what I had to do. Haven't scored like that in a while, but I'll take it.
Boy, the Cavaliers are struggling. They look completely out of sync. If a Part 4 versus the Warriors is what's destined to come, the Cavs better get it together, and I mean quick. But before we jump into what's wrong with Cleveland, I want to briefly shout out my sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that gathers all the best deals from the web, putting them in one spot, making your job easy as can be. They rate these deals on a scale of 1 to 100 to let you know how good or bad the deal is. And using my promo code Swishout knocks off $20 off of your first purchase. So I'll drop that SeatGeek link in my description. And if you want to see your favorite players live, you better use this app. But back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to quickly give you guys my personal analysis of what I think is going on and what's the big problem in Cleveland right now. Now, last year, the Cavaliers did have their problems down the stretch. They weren't playing defense. They couldn't even secure first seed in the Eastern Conference. But notice I said down the stretch they had their problems, meaning around March and April is when they started to slack. It was pretty evident that the Cavaliers were preparing for the postseason, aka the Warriors, but at least they waited until after the All-Star game to start to slack. Last year, they started the season strong. They started out 9-1 through their first 10 games, while this year they're 4-6. And the big problem I see with the Cavaliers already this season, it's LeBron James. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what the hell you mean it's LeBron James? He just put up 57 points against the Wizards. He's the best player on the planet. How can he possibly be the problem? And a quick story time about the Wizards game. I was just about to buy tickets to the Wizards versus Cavaliers because that's my city. I was just about to buy those tickets. I said, but nah, I catch LeBron another time. And he decides to score 57 points the game that I don't go to. I went to the game against the Suns on Wednesday, and I said I was going to go to the Cleveland game too, but I said I catch LeBron another time. He wants to put up 57 points when I'm not there. I was pissed off about that, but back to the video. That game Friday night versus the Wizards is a perfect example of what I mean. LeBron James is having to do way too much for someone who's turning 33 next month, and the statistics actually prove it. Last season, LeBron James had a pretty high usage rate, and for my NBA fans who aren't familiar with analytics, usage rate is basically the number of plays a player has while he's on the court. Kind of self-explanatory, the rate in which he's used, but last season LeBron James had a pretty high one, but it wasn't even the highest on his team. He had a 29.8 usage rate, while Kyrie Irving had a 30.7 usage rate, basically showing that LeBron had a consistent teammate to take the load off his shoulders at times. But if you look at it this season from the first 10 games, LeBron usage rate sits at 30.2, while the next highest is Kevin Love at 25.8. And comparing the season from last year to this year, last year was clearly a more cohesive unit with the amount of plays for the team. But this year, it's like LeBron creates a play or no one scores. Also, LeBron is playing way too many minutes for his age. Last season, he led the league in total minutes played, and this season, he's on pace to at least be top 5 again. Against the Wizards, he didn't even take a rest in the second half. If you look at the Cavaliers' minutes per game this season, LeBron is literally the only player playing 30 minutes plus. He's the only player. Everyone else, they're not even cracking 30 minutes. LeBron's a monster, but how long can you keep this going? I mean, without his right-hand man, Kyrie, LeBron is averaging 19 shots per game, while the next most is Kevin Love and Derrick Rose at 12. And if you compare those team stats to a more coherent team like the Golden State Warriors, you can see the obvious difference. Their whole big four is averaging at least 30 minutes per game, and Klay, Steph, and Durant are all shooting 16 shots per game while averaging at least 20. So if you compare the two, Cleveland, they're not balanced while Golden State is. Now, I already know what I'm gonna hear in my comment section. They don't have IT. IT isn't there. IT was their biggest asset from the Celtics trade, so don't judge them yet. But Cleveland also stinks on defense. They're giving up the third most in the league with 113 points per game. And IT, when he comes back, he can arguably make them even worse on that side of the ball. Also, Isaiah Thomas just came from a team where he was clearly the dominant player. Now he has to share minutes with Derrick Rose. He has to find his fitting with Cleveland and LeBron James. It's going to take some getting used to, and if they keep losing, they might not have time to figure out how to win. They might have to win now. It might be urgent. But, I think Cleveland, they're going to make the playoffs. I think they will be fine, at least in the Eastern Conference. I'm not sure because Boston is looking pretty good, but, it's still early. We're like in the third week. But Cleveland, they're going to have to rest LeBron James a little bit more because he's not going to be able to sit out no games like he did last year. He's not going to be able to take no rest if they keep losing because they're going to need him to win games and to get in the playoffs. So they're going to need help. Hopefully, IT is able to make an 100% comeback because if LeBron has to continue to do what he's doing right now for this team, they have no shot. And LeBron, if he even gets back to the finals the way they're playing right now, he's going to be gassed, man. He's going to be gassed. He's going to be done. So he's human, man. He's human. You got to remember that. So hopefully IT can come back and be the exact same player and kind of be Kyrie Irving like for Cleveland. So that's what I think is wrong with Cleveland. They're way too reliant on LeBron James only. They have to figure something out. I don't know, Tyronn Lue, he has to figure something out. I have to hear these comments. What do you guys think is wrong with Cleveland? Cavaliers fans, don't be salty, man. I'm being real. I want LeBron to win too, but you know, that's what's going on right now. If you guys like the video, let me know in the comments. Please drop it down in the comments. If you're new, subscribe. If you're current, make sure you turn on my notifications, do all that great stuff. And until next time, guys, stay tuned, Jay.